Being human is so hard, at least when you think about it. Being perceived, for example, perceiving others and comparing yourself to them. Don't get me started about the human mind, being beholden to our own minds. At any time, our emotions, our fears, our doubts, our desires can come to the forefront and affect how we move throughout the world. Lately, my emotions have been attacking me, for lack of a better term. I catastrophize and I waste time. I procrastinate and I spiral. I keep spiraling when I realize I'm in a procrastination loop. It really does feel like a loop once you're in it, doesn't it? You can technically get on track at any time, start what you need to do, but you just don't. It almost feels like you can't, even though you can, but you just can't. It's frightening how easy it is to go against your best interests. But how am I supposed to work on stuff I might mess up and feel inadequate in when a quick and easy hit of dopamine is right there, guaranteed? How can I stop distracting myself when it's so easy? But there's something wrong when I do this. I'm entertained, at least superficially, but I don't really feel all that good. What about the plans I made earlier at work, declaring that I was going to go home and make changes? What I'm doing right now is rather mindless and it's not helping. It keeps me from what I want to do. It's so short term as well. This feeling will eat at me and make me feel anxious. I try to ignore it and kind of do, but it's still there. The funny and I guess ironic messed up thing about procrastination is that in our goal to feel good by forfeiting long-term progress for short-term comfort and entertainment, it doesn't even feel that good. I watch time slip away as I get more and more anxious. It's the most common form of self-sabotage that I can think of. Doing mindless, easy dopamine activities like scrolling through Twitter doesn't help me at all. And I know it. I can feel it. My body physically reacts in a way with what I like to call, aka, just thought of right now, bad butterflies. As I'm writing this right now, I've gotten past the hurdle that's personally hardest for me. Starting. It's been difficult for a long time. This morning and afternoon, when I was at a job I'm not crazy about, my mind kept going to what I would do, or rather, should do, when I'd get home. I was gonna get to it, hustle, and change my reality. Magically turn into a girl boss, work machine, hardcore creative robot hero, as if my mindset was going to change from the time I left to my train ride home. But everywhere you go, you take yourself with you. If I have a habit of procrastination, I will still have it when I get home. But the hopeful news is procrastination is not a character description. It doesn't define me or any of us. It's just a habit I have and I can face it. That being said, when I got home, I watched YouTube, looked at Twitter, looked at Instagram stories, even though I'm not really on Instagram, and watched myself, almost like from the outside as my to-do list went untouched. It was like I was waiting for the moment. Okay, time to do my stuff now. I'm ready and feel ready. I waited for the moment when I felt ready to buckle down and do what I'd been meaning to do. That moment didn't come, and that moment doesn't really exist. It was hours before I rewrote my to-do list, knowing that I wouldn't get to most of it. Put the important stuff at the top and started writing this. Not because a moment came, but because after a while, I started feeling anxious, as if a voice, my inner voice, was saying, "Oh no, I'm doing it again. I'm wasting my day again, not again." As if it's not completely up to me. It's like I'm watching myself throw my time and all those plans away. Most of us want to better ourselves, but if it were that easy, we'd all be better. Here are some things I try to remind myself of, and then some actual practical tips. You can listen if you like. Try things without worrying if they'll fail. Stop hibernating through your life and ask yourself very honestly what you really want. Chase and implement your passions any way you can. Don't let fear be the driving force of your life or the motive behind your actions. Less planning and more action. Always default to action. Change your mindset from failure to learning. on the more practical side, try to start what you need to do immediately as soon as you can. If you leave it for later, after you do the short-term fun dopamine thing, you might not get to it. Create manageable tasks, and if you have to do something that's big and daunting, try to break it up into smaller tasks that are easier to do over time. If you have trouble starting, try techniques like the Pomodoro effect or Mel Robbins' method of counting down from 5 and then jumping into action. Our moment is now. This life is a journey. Create and curate the journey and try to find ways to love it. When it comes to the moment you reach a goal, that moment may feel good, but it will come and go. We spend most of our lives in the journey portion. So enjoy the processes, the experiments, the projects, the hobbies, the practice, and the activities, the learning phases, everything. Of course, all of this takes practice and consistent action and shifting of your mindset, but I'll keep trying until it sticks. I think that's a piece of my journey as I realize what I've been doing, implementing what I know. As I'm writing this, I'm realizing that the anxiousness I felt wasn't from the black coffee I drank, at least not most of it. I've relaxed because I'm doing what I'd like to do with my time. I'm not watching myself anymore. I'm in the moment. I'm giving myself a chance. What I felt earlier was that little voice expressing its disappointment of me, wasting the free time I was waiting for, planning for. Now I'm zoned in on my voice. I genuinely feel better. I really do. I want to be clear, I'm not one of those productivity junkies. I don't really know how to do that and don't think I want to. But I know what I'd like to do and, more importantly, who I'd like to be. I would like to be the type of person who wakes up early for me, and takes advantage of that time. A person who goes to the gym consistently. A person who nurtures her creativity and works consistently at her dreams, and who dresses well. Ask yourself what's stopping you from starting what you've been meaning to. If you don't have a good reason, start doing. Even if it starts badly, you can always edit, refine, and rework if you give yourself time. See how you feel. Go on. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And what's something you've been putting off that you'd like to do?